Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined, as always, by the man stuck in limbo himself. It's Mikey G. Wolf V3. Hello, Mikey.
They spin me right round, Raby, right round.
Did you say Raby or baby?
I don't know. It's been one of those days.
If being trapped in limbo, it'll do that to you.
Yeah.
How's it going, though, Mr. Mikey?
I'm alright. How are you, sir?
The same as per usual. But I have a big purple monster next to me, so that's quite nice.
Listen, I really wish you would realize that while we're not censored, we do have a preferred age rating, and they don't need to know about your purple monster.
But he's next to my lilac monster.
I've just you shouldn't be telling people these things.
But he's also next to my small little grey thing.
I mean, that's a medical condition.
It is. It actually is.
That's something you should be worried specifically about.
I have ointment for it. Ointment.
When
was the last time a doctor prescribed ointment to somebody? Is Vicks
probably
Vapor Rub
like
an ointment? Or is that a cream? That's more of a cream,
tincture.
Isn't
That
it?
would be a tincture. That would be a tincture.
I think that doesn't sound like a real word.
It is. Tincture.
Nah. So if I go to the pharmacist and I say, can I have a tincture, they're not going to look at me weird.
Well, they will, because no one says it anymore, but we're going with specifics here.
Oh, okay.
I would like a tincture of Vaseline. I was like, ooh.
This is where they throw me out and say, you're not allowed to use those words here. It's rude.
Yeah. Tincture of Vaseline for the humours.
For my joints, for my poor achy joints. We're here today, as always, to talk about Transformers, and as is the nature of 2021, there's not much. That's the world we live in at the moment, because there's still no toy fairs, but we will do what we can to amuse, and I have a toy to talk about, so that's something Transformer-related. Exactly. So we're going to kick off with the 115 Utopia YYW-11. What a name. I know it straight away. It's the upgrade kit for Transformers Earthrise Leader Double Dealer, the dealer that does the doubling. So what do you get in this set? You get the front bumper fillers for the alt mode. You get 2 of them. You get 2 leg fillers, a cannon grip for his cannon to grip, and 2 leg extenders. These can all be attached onto said figure and swapped around with his bits to make him better, I suppose, because he did have issues, didn't he?
Yes. He's actually an interesting one, because people talked about him a lot before he came out, and then everyone went dead silent when he did come out.
I never really heard anybody say anything about it. I remember people kind of talked about the legs seemed to come off of the disc joint on the, the hip? Or something like that. They mentioned that, but apart from that, no one was like, wow, Double Dealer's really good, or wow, Double Dealer's really bad. It was just like, hey, he's out.
You see, he was a release that happened.
It never really filled me with confidence to be like, you know what, I want to get Double Dealer. I was just like,
I mean, I'd be happy enough with the original Double Dealer. Like, apart from a couple of extra joints, this guy does does nothing that the original didn't do.
The original's a fun little toy too.
Yeah, and the original comes with Power Masters.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, so this is basically like, oh, he can pose better.
Yeah, and I mean, we've argued this before, but that's kind of what current Transformers are. So it is an option.
It is, and it just wouldn't make me want to buy it. I'd rather get the original.
And the last Double Dealer we got was the redo of Blitzwing, which was okay.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was slender. It had the issues that Blitzwing toy had, which was you kind of had to unscrew it and then shave down a load of parts on it for it to actually work properly. But do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was a weird issue. That was a bizarre issue.
I remember how people got really annoyed about the face gimmick and that, and I was like, I like the face gimmick, it's just that it didn't work.
No, it made his head look really funky. Like, it made it too big, and the faces inside too small.
You could have done better.
Yeah, I remember there was an upgrade kit for it, which I think I got, which definitely, it switched the head out, so it didn't have the gimmick, but it gave him a proper looking head, which was a lot better, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I will always say I love any reference to animated. It's just, it didn't work in that case.
No, it'd be nice to have like a new animated take in a few years' time or something.
That'd be nice. Or, maybe third party could do something that's not Generation 1.
That'd be nice, yeah. If we could get a good animated Starscream toy, that would be really nice. Because unfortunately, his Voyager's not good.
No, and we all apologize for it for a long time because A, a lot of us like the character.
Yes,
and B, a lot of us bought it about a year before it came out at unreasonable prices and had to justify spending that much on a Voyager.
Yeah, some of us did, at least. And then some of us continued to do that when each subsequent release of that mold in different color schemes came out.
Yes. Back in the day when we had what was cheerfully called the Review Wars.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah. Yeah, that's what they were called, weren't they?
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't remember, like, you're in the modern scene, you're not hip to my lit history. I'm just channeling Marion right now.
You didn't say Super Rito, though, unfortunately.
No, super based.
Is it based? Is it? I thought it was
she's super based and super lit.
I thought it was what was it? It was dope based Super Rito.
I think she says all of them.
She probably does. Does.
But also that video you sent was fantastic.
You're welcome. Yeah.
That's just like, I'm loving these little shorts on her channel in the last couple of months. They've been great crack. Granted, they're mostly her begging people to do things that they don't want to do, but
she's the most successul Ollie, crazy Ollie.
Yeah, probably because
Ollie's the failed version of her.
Well, like, they did a crossover once, and I think I said to someone just like, she was a small wave against a tsunami. Everything she pulled got turned back on her.
And every time she was just like, I don't know what to do.
None of the other ones did this.
You're approaching me with horny.
Ha, fool. But about 2000. Actually, I would say it started like 2007, because it started with the movie toys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they were the first ones.
Chinese leaks there, which was basically some guy in a factory would steal a few toys and put them online, including prototypes and stuff like that, were huge. And people used to spend inordinate amount of money on them. And as the reviewing scene took off, people were like, if you had the first review of this, you would get the most views. And there was monetization then, but I don't think it was quite as like much. If you had the kind of views you were getting now, you could have turned it into a real business.
Yeah, you got a lot more money back then.
Yeah. And there was this hilarious thing of several big channels who openly, viscerally hated each other and spoke about it online because they were all spending huge amounts on stolen Chinese toys to try and get that first review in. And
yes, not just expensive toys, but they had to pay for the most extreme shipping as well.
Yeah. But they were vicious to each other.
Yeah, they weren't kind.
There used to be videos on their channels of them attacking the guy next door. Like, it was amazing. I can't, like, you see it sometimes nowadays in the anime scene, but I can't imagine it in the toy review scene these days.
No, just because the market's changed, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, we don't really do the stolen Chinese toys thing anymore.
No.
And also, animated was a unique case because if you didn't know, it took about a year for the toy line to actually start. And
yeah, while the show was going, which was kind of nuts.
They were in season 2 by the time the first wave was released.
Yeah, it was strange. It was a weird way of doing things.
Yeah.
One might say bad way of doing things, but hey-ho,
Hey-ho.
That's how it goes. What do you think of this upgrade set for Double Dealer then, Mikey? It seems unremarkable, but I suppose it's a nice thing to get if you have one.
I think it doesn't, like, some of the things you do, like, I think the legs look a lot better.
Yes, yeah, the gap filler parts, yeah, definitely.
I don't think the front of the truck looks noticeably better.
No, I couldn't really tell what it really
because it's basically because the truck is kind of flat nosed with some pegs.
Oh, right, okay.
So this is going over them and rounding it off. But the gun, I'm like, what have they done with the gun? Yeah, there's some extra pegs, I think. But they've made it. I no real feeling about that.
Yeah, it just means that he isn't holding it by the by the bottom of the gun, and it gets to be closer to the elbow joint, which looks a bit nicer. But again, I wouldn't say is that important, especially compared to the leg filler.
And it looks like they've made some changes to the knees and everything else to make the transformation smoother, and add a bit of extra articulation, which I think isn't a bad thing if that's been a problem.
But since we neither you or I have it, and we don't hear anybody talking about it, we can only assume, I guess.
Yeah, so I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's an okay kit. If you want to make your double dealer better, it seems like an okay way to go forward.
Yeah.
Apparently, the leg extender sure got our attention, says the person that wrote the article. So I guess those things are a lot better as he becomes taller and gets better knee articulation too. So there you go. If you're in the market for one, there's an upgrade kit coming, baby. Mikey, what else you got?
There was a new bit of deleted audio. For anyone who doesn't remember, Transformers at the Moon acquired a bunch of audio that never made it into the show and extra details, and they have been releasing it incrementally. And this one is for G1 episode Dinobot Island Part 2. So there's some isolated English tracks directed by Wally Bird. Some extended scenes. You were going to say
Joaquin Phoenix.
More Megatron Starscream interaction, and why Trailbreaker was behind everyone at the end. Which means there's I haven't gone through this, but I'm assuming that means there's a deleted scene for Trailbreaker.
One would assume. I think that's a good guess.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna. Someone's listed out there's extra audio from a Barbarian, extra one from Sunstreaker. Some new lines from Starscream and Megatron, which is basically Jim just Starscreaming at each other.
Okay. Is that a verb now, Starscreaming?
Yeah.
To Starscream.
And I don't see any... Okay. Trailbreaker was supposed to put up a force field in the original version that would trap the energies of Dinobot Island till the end of time so that nothing bad happened.
Hang on, he made a shield that would last throughout time.
Yes, apparently that was something he was supposed to have done.
How? How would he do that? How would he make a force field that would last throughout time? That sounds like a Wheeljack invention that would go horribly, horribly wrong.
I mean, yes, but it's also like, aren't his force fields generated when he's there?
Yeah, so Trailbreaker was going to stay on Dinobot Island forever.
Yeah, like Trailbreaker doesn't get to leave. Yes. Trailbreaker lives here now.
It was Prime's decision because Prime hated Trailbreaker. As one does. It's what Mikey would do to me as well, to be fair.
Oh, I'd abandon you now.
Andy, we have to leave you on this island. Why?
You have to put up a force field, my friend. I don't have that ability. You look out, the boat's going away. You'll save us all.
You got this. No, I don't. Oh. I wonder how much more footage and stock they have for these things.
Yeah, I'm very curious because they got a lot. I remember that.
Yeah, and they have been released. It's been a while since they've really released a huge chunk. But yeah, they've been releasing it kind of steadily for a good long while, I would say, at this point.
It
feels like it
for 2 or 3 years now, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say something like that at least, right?
It's really interesting, from a sort of an archival sense.
Yes, historic perspective kind of deal.
But so I think that's really good. But I don't go through them. It's just not that's neat.
Oh my god!
I'm not really going to flip a table to have a look at it.
Are you not a true fan, Mikey?
All I can think of now, when that is the Futurama quote of what will happen to us and our many fans, as Leela is standing in front of a large set of fans.
It was a good question.
Which I really liked that opening to the movies, which is basically, hey, Fox News, fuck you, or Fox TV, fuck you. They're just tearing strips off it the entire time, and just the idiots who made that decision have all died, and then their corpses were horribly mangled.
Oh no!
Futurama, you were better than everything else.
How it went for a while, didn't it?
It did 4 seasons, got cancelled. Apparently, basically because it wasn't conforming to the expected standards.
Of course.
around the same time they cancelled Family Guy, except I think that Futurama being cancelled is a bigger problem.
Well, it's only a bigger problem because you liked it more, to be fair.
I think it was objectively better because it objectively involved smarter people. Many of them. With qualifications. And wit.
Oh, wow.
And could do a joke that wasn't just the same thing extended for 5 minutes. Ha ha! It's funny!
Man, that fucking Family Guy salt from Mikey. Good
I
Lord.
fell out of love with Family Guy around the same time I fell out of love with Rick and Morty.
Ah.
Different reasons, but... yeah, and then it was the movies that came back a few years later, and then they got 2 new seasons after the movies.
Okay.
And technically it's never been cancelled.
Well, I mean...
It just isn't on the air, but technically it's never had a formal letter of, like, you're cancelled, we got to do a bunch of legal shit, so they could bring it back however they like.
Okay.
So who knows what the future holds?
I'm pretty sure it's not coming back, though.
What, Andy, have you
Matt
imagined
Groening
the
had that other show,
world of
didn't he?
tomorrow?
Matt Groening had that other show, didn't he? The
that's still going.
medieval one.
Disenchantment, that's still on Netflix.
That's the one.
A new season started, I think, recently.
Is it? Yeah, okay.
I saw that. I was flicking through Netflix and I just saw it pop up, and I didn't really love Disenchantment. It was better than I was expecting it to be, but it wasn't good.
It seemed fine from the trailers, from what I saw.
It's more in the Futurama realm than it is the Simpsons realm.
I mean, thank God for that.
But to be fair, I don't know what realm the Simpsons are in anymore, but...
Money-making profiteer.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah. Well, not for entertainment's purpose, it's not.
No, it's terrible. The show's absolute garbage, but...
Oh, yeah.
People will still watch it.
Oh, yeah, well...
I'm not mocking you who watching it. I'm just saying you're wrong.
Fair enough. The Mikey has made his judgmento.
Judgmento. I have been judgmentoing.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I've clearly had too much caffeine today because my brain's on like a different plane.
Are you seeing things that shouldn't be there?
Yes. Mostly the elephants. But they're fine. Like they don't take up too much space and they pay the rent, so.
Okay, well that's fair enough. Shall I move us on, Mr. Mikey?
Yep.
Right, well, the next thing we have is a thing that I haven't heard about for years, and it's minimates. Mikey, do you remember minimates?
Very, very faintly.
They would, for those not aware, they are very small little figures with Lego-like hands, but are they're kind of like a Lego minifigure, but not as well at the same time. They're what I would call the small designer version of a Funko Pop.
Yeah.
They're in that kind of realm.
These do more than a Funko Pop.
They do. They have articulation to a point. But there's not a huge amount to them. And hey, Diamond Select Toys are doing Transformers Minimates Series 1, clearly indicating that there will be more Minimates to come in the future, unless these fail tremendously.
Yep. Which they really could.
Yes, apparently Minimates are... Here's a description. Minimates are a block-styled miniature action figure, which were originally produced in 2002. Holy crap. Wow, nearly 20 years ago. And they worked with several popular franchises. We finally have... I don't know why they're saying we finally have Transformers G1 characters. Like, it's a big deal, but I guess it might be...
Wait. Are you saying that a non-transforming, barely playable licensed product has Generation 1 Transformers?
I'm saying that something Transformer-related is related to G1. Whether they be extra properties or not.
I think you're crazy.
I mean, I am, but that doesn't change the facts. That's right. It's G1 as a nice change. So who do we have in this Wave 1 Minimate series? We have a Optimus Prime, a Starscream, a Bimblebee, and a Shockwave, of course. That's right. They're 2 inches tall, or 5.08 centimeters for those who like the other measurements. They're made, Mikey, of plastic.
Well done.
Yes, I know. We're not talking about what kind, just that it is plastic. It features 14 points of articulation each, rather than all of them combined together, I would imagine. Fully interchangeable parts. Packaged in a full-colored window box. This is the important stuff. And designed by Barry Bradfield. See, the only way it would have been cooler if the last name was Burton. Because it's the cool dude from Resident Evil. But unfortunately, it's not Barry Burton, I'm afraid to tell you. Yeah, Mikey, what do you think of these things? Because I think they look like a thing that someone who kind of remembers Transformers would have at their work desk, which is fine.
Look.
Would you say standard? They look
Cheap,
standard.
to be honest.
Cheap. Why do you say cheap?
I'm assuming.
Oh no, I'm having a look at them. Never mind.
Yeah,
I see. What
I'm
you're
assuming
saying.
these are real paint jobs because these look physical.
Yeah.
And I can see the splotches in Optimus Prime's chest.
Yes, these might be images of prototypes, I suppose. One can
really hope so. Also,
Yeah.
Shockwave looks like Beaker.
It looks like Beaker.
You can imagine the neck going up and down.
I guess I can kind of see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, Mikey.
Do you think these 4 characters are underrepresented in these kind of figures?
Well, I sure do, Mikey.
Well, boy howdy, I sure hope they do a Megatron and a Soundwave next, because we haven't seen them in a while.
Sounds like a bit of a push, but you might get one. You might get a Prowl next as well.
Yay.
Yeah.
Probably a Grimlock as well. Yay.
Yeah, I can see Grimlock, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely Megatron, definitely Soundwave, and then, yeah, maybe it's a Prowl and a Grimlock.
Mm.
I think that's a safe beto.
So I can't say I'm exactly leaping off the table to see them, but cool.
Cool indeed. Poggers, as the kids might say.
No, they don't.
Kids do say poggers.
Kids say Fortnite. Kids say a lot of wrong things.
Kids just say Fortnite in general conversation instead of words. They just go Fortnite, and you just stand there going, "What?" We're talking about politics, and you say Fortnite out of nowhere. What? Fortnite.
Fortnite was when the gacha system got introduced to the mainstream Western market.
No, it was in there before that.
It was in there, but it wasn't mainstream.
You might be right. I don't know.
Because EA hid the idea of it in they did it in full retail games. Fortnite was, here's a free game that everyone will want to play.
Mm-hmm.
That is basically funded by your foolishness.
And it's still going. And they have a toy line, which is weird.
Yeah, I'm also saying this as someone who's like, if that near mobile game comes out in the West, I will probably get it and probably end up spending money on it.
Weak.
It's getting very good reviews, apparently. Yoko Taro's actually involved in it. He was the director. He didn't write it, but he was the director.
I still say weak. I'm still
How many
sticking
Fake
with
Grand
that.
Order things have you had on your thing?
How much money have I paid, did you say?
No, not money. How much time have you spent in it?
Oh, yeah, quite a bit. It's a good way to burn my life away.
Please, just give me the random hot lady based off of the specific moment in history that I want it to be.
I don't even need that. It's just something to fill in the void.
Did you get Quetzalcoatl?
I don't actually. Oh, no, I have her Christmas version. I have a Christmas version because she was free.
There's a Christmas version of her?
Yeah, she's in the Samba outfit. She has the power of... Like, every Christmas, a new servant will get the power of Santa.
Christmas... Because I can imagine her version of that is not the one that the children should see.
It's very much like the Simpsons episode where they go to Mardi Gras.
Samba Santa.
Yeah. Her finisher is she drops a gigantic present from space on people.
Well, that is certainly a design.
Yes, yeah.
That is a design, and do not Google this if you are not prepared to wonder where all those Christmas lights are going.
Just going around, don't worry about it.
I like the wings.
Yeah. I mean, it's very festive. I'd say it's a very festive design.
I mean, makes me think more Phoenix than Feathered Snake God, but...
Mm-hmm. You know. It happens.
Yeah. My god, there's a chibi version.
Yeah, there's always
that's hilarious. I love that. She looks like she should be in Kobayashi.
All of them have like an April 1st design, which is the chibi kind of weird, slightly strange one.
I like that.
All of them. There you go. Mikey.
Yes.
Shall you move us on to some other things?
Yeah, so Super 7 are pushing their Ultimates line for Transformers. I have a little bit of extra things to add on to this, but I'll go to the main news first.
Ooh.
So we have Wave 2 lineup and pre-order schedules. So pre-orders for Wave 2 is going to start in summer 2021, and Wave 3 will be in fall 2021. And these are confirming the characters who are coming out. And I have to admit, there's a couple in here I think would kind of be like the Action Masters. I know attracted like the outliers into the Action Master's original characters or original designs. There's some in here that will attract a broader set of outliers.
Okay.
So for anyone who doesn't remember, Wave 1 is the Ghost of Starscream, Optimus Prime, Action Master Bumblebee, and Action Master Bombshell, and Banzaitron, right?
Yes, that's right.
Wave 2 is G1 Megatron. Exciting. Grimlock in Dino Mode.
I guess the question is which G2 Megatron, though.
I didn't get there yet.
Yeah.
I was building to it.
We'll get there.
There's feckin' spoilers. Bludgeon, who I love how they have pretenders over it. Like, yeah, you're going to do the inner... Can you imagine if they did the inner robot for Bludgeon?
Oh, that'd be disappointing. the mode that no one likes.
And
well, it's not that. It's not that no one likes it. It's just it's nowhere near as iconic.
No one even remembers it exists.
I remember.
No, you don't.
I do, because I've got the toy.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, green tank, brown body. Has a visor for a face.
Yeah, that could be anyone.
I know what it is, though.
At Trax. Didn't see that coming.
No. Well, he's stuck on Dinobot Island. What else has he got?
Yeah, helping a Trailbreaker. Megatron G2. Presumably standard.
Presumably.
Wreck-Gar. Like, these later waves seem a lot more random in terms of their selection.
Kind of. I'm guessing they tried to go with a safe one to start with, and then they're just going,
Alligator Con. Now,
yeah, so that's Optimus Prime.
Is that the Optimus Prime, or is that the Alicon?
My assumption would be, from reading that, it would be the Optimus Prime as an alligator, or I can't imagine it would be the Alicon. It might be. I'd be surprised.
The Alicon might make more sense just because it's a bipedal robot.
Yeah.
Whereas the Alligator Con is like, we have to do a semi-posable alligator. And Tarn. Didn't see that one coming.
No.
So we are going to get a reasonably affordable Tarn.
Well.
It'll come in at about 50.
Yeah, reasonable compared to any of his other releases, which are
400.
Yeah.
So if you weren't able to get one of the third-party versions, or if you weren't able to get the Flame toys, and you do want a Tarn, this is an option. They also had an advertisement during the week for their Super Shogun Optimus Prime, who I got really excited about until I realized what Super Shogun was.
What is Super Shogun, Mikey?
Super Shogun was a sort of mixed toy line for a bunch of super robot shows, from the 70s and 80s, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
And their version of it is basically their standard, not even their standard posable, their standard like statuette versions. But it's not a Shogun version of Optimus Prime. It's an Optimus Prime in the style of the Shogun line.
Yeah, we've kind of seen stuff like that before, haven't we? With the big PVC Optimus Prime, which I think Super 7 did in the past.
So the bit I have to add on to this is that they did a video on their YouTube channel, which was how posable will the Transformers be? So they said they were going to use a figure of the proxy.
All right.
So they got out their Voltron and their Ultimate Voltron and showed his posability. A lot of people got very excited for this.
All right.
And having watched the video, I hope they do a little bit more than that.
Okay, so why are people excited about it? What did you see in the video, Mikey? Okay,
so the video was Voltron, and it was like he had very basic articulation. So he had forward and back and out on the arms. He had a rotation, a bit of a wibble on the head. Looked like it was a ball joint. Not quite 90-degree elbows.
Right.
Slight forward motion on the legs.
Slight. Like how much are you going to get 90 degrees out of it?
No, you're getting more like 45.
Ooh, that's
similar on the legs.
Okay.
On the knees, sorry. He didn't seem to have any outward movement on the legs.
Right.
Like from what I could see of Bombshell, he looked like he did. So
okay.
He had a waist joint, but they said like, oh, the sculpt gets in the way of this, and basically the waist joint was a very, very slight rotation at the upper chest. Now you and I both know like there are ways and means around that if you're engineering for articulation.
Yeah.
So this looks like a very, very basically articulated figure line. You and I said at the start, like, I'm not sure how Optimus Prime's legs are going to move out. I think basically they're not going to. They'll move forward. So? They'll move forward, but like I don't think there's a hidden cut in there, because that's not what this line is about. And I talked to someone during the week, and like I said like I don't really get it, and I don't. It goes over my head what this is, what the appeal of this is. And they said like it's like having all the toys I had when I was a kid. And it's like, and like they were saying, like they're doing an inflatable Unicron or something like that.
It's kind of cute, like, but I bet it'll be expensive though.
But they really love the idea of that, and these are the kind of collectibles. I don't want articulation. I just want something that looks the way I remember things.
Okay.
And I have to admit, after hearing the reasoning, I still don't get it, but I do respect the opinion.
Well, I suppose it's just a different mindset to collecting. Yeah. That's like you say, very different from ours.
Very, very like. Fair play to you how you see it. Same kind of mindset I'm assuming leads to people buying those big expensive statues and like.
Yeah.
But yes, any thoughts on this lineup, Andy?
Here's a question. Like the Tarn's going to be IDW, obviously, but it's going to have to conform with how the rest of the line looks. So it's going to be action mastery. So if you want like your proper big henchy Tarn, this isn't going to be for you. Just assuming it would be nice, obviously, to get images. It's going to be a kind of toy version, like G1 toy version of him, I suppose. So it's going to be scaled down in terms of craziness, I guess. Just to fit in with everything else.
Looking at the Ultimate line, it's very much got that toy meets cartoon vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming Tarn is going to have the same kind of modifications.
It would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah, so yeah, if I look forward to it coming out and people getting really annoyed and complaining and being like, okay, I don't think you understood what this figure was probably going to be. Or this line is meant to be, at least. You know? But hey, they're doing a lot more than I thought they would. I thought they'd do maybe 2 waves and be like, we're done. But it seems like they're going all in, so I'll give it to them there. They're doing some stuff with it, and some interesting choices.
I'm glad I'm seeing some thinking outside the box.
Yeah, it's nice to see something done from IDW, and it's nice to see that it's not just, let's just do G1 for the next few years. Let's do, like, G1 primarily, but let's do some other bits as well. So that's something. That's good. Do you want to take the other bit of news? Because it looks like it kind of smushes into it.
Icon Heroes have put up a teaser for G1 Soundwave, the underrepresented character that he is.
Yes.
So this is like a shoulder shot of Soundwave, basically. So Icon Heroes technically does statues, bobblehead, vinyls, enamel pins, some toys and action figures. I'm just Googling now to see what kind of stuff. Like, okay, so they've got some decent looking statues. Very much in that kind of range. What have they got for action figures?
Action figures?
Action. Oh, God.
What they got?
They've got the action figure line to go with the Karate Kid.
Okay. Interesting.
You
mean the movie, or do you mean the new Netflix show?
But Andy, I do not have the information to back that up.
Oh, fair enough.
I do not know enough about it. I have not seen the Netflix show, or whatever the show
I thought you were pro on the Karate Kid.
I mean, I know that you wash left, wash right.
Yes? You mean wax on, wax off?
Oh, God, I don't even know that. Yeah, these look very okay-ish.
Wow. What praise from Mikey. These are very okay-ish.
How the vinyls look?
How do they look?
Let's look at the vinyls.
Have a squizzle.
The vinyls are basically the exact same thing as so basically, there's a Soundwave coming in some form.
Right.
Cool.
Of maybe good or bad quality, I assume.
Yeah, and ultimately we have no idea what kind of figure this is going to be.
Neat.
just that he's Soundwave.
That's always good. It's good to know
Andy,
he's Soundwave. Mikey.
Do you want to talk about expiration?
No, but here we go. Hasbro Plus Premium membership ships memberships are expiring soon. Take that.
Hasbro's premium memberships.
Yeah, never mind. Attention Pulse members. Hasbro have been sending out emails to inform that all premium memberships will expire soon. Hasbro Pulse offers free standard continental US shipping, access to promotions or contests, early access to some products, and the other extras for premium members for $50 a year, which seems expensive to me. It's good to remember that the original memberships were extended past the 31st of December 2019. Sorry, I was reading the stupid way Americans write the date. I will never let that go. It's dumb. You don't put you go smallest to biggest. You don't go medium, small, big. That's not how you order things, is it, Mikey?
I don't know. Maybe they care more about the month, I suppose.
That's weird. It's weird. For 12 months, for the date you originally shipped. Originally signed. There's no concrete information about the exact expiring date, but we may think it would be extended. We think it would be the end of the month. It's up to you now to renew your membership or not. I clicked to discuss on the boards. I don't know why you would do it. I
don't know. Well, I don't remember what were they actually offering?
Would it have been the shipping for Unicron?
No, because this came in, like the premium came in like when Pulse started.
Yeah, but I think people were keeping it around for the Unicron stuff, right? Because they knew it was going to be a bitch to ship.
Did they get deals? Did they actually get like deals, or is it just like shipping?
Free shipping? I don't know, because if it's just shipping, hang on, it did say you get offered deals. Yeah, let's have a look.
Okay.
Shipping, access to promotions or contests. Don't know why it says or rather than and.
You can
contests.
have one or the other.
What do you want? Do you want to go in for a chance to win something, or do you want a guaranteed promotion? I don't know. Neither sound great. I don't know. $50 a year sounds. Maybe it's not too much. I don't know. Maybe it is too much for what it's offering. It doesn't seem to offer a lot.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound amazing.
Like, I get why you pay like £7 a month for Amazon Prime, because it's got videos, it's got the free shipping, it's got the music, it's got the kind of random woo-woo.
Yeah,
But this is just shipping, effectively, and then you do contests and promotions, which you could do for free anyway. Seems odd. But there you go. If you've got a membership, it might be expiring soon. That's literally all of our news. This is how hard up on news we are.
Also in the news, you can transform yourself with the power of Jesus.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
You have to say it like that, though.
I don't want to. I don't feel comfortable doing that.
The power of Jesus.
Mikey, that's all of our news, of course. So what have you been up to this week? What have you done for fun?
What did I do?
What did you do?
Oh, God, I had a week. But I cut my hair and the entire world stopped by the amount of reactions I got.
Did you scream Zaweldo when you did it?
I did do that during the week.
I know, I saw.
I genuinely did. I genuinely did that. I used it in a sentence.
It's for a paper or something, right?
Yeah, it said something about stopping. I just went, the world.
It's just weird because you haven't seen that JoJo's, have you?
No, I haven't. You didn't sell it. You almost sold it on me, and then you got to the second half of it, and then you said oh God.
No, I think I sold you on season 1 and then season 2, but then it was Stardust Crusaders, where I was like, wow, this new story's bad. But the first 2 parts you should watch.
So still playing Nier when I can.
What playthrough have you got through 9S's yet?
In the middle of 9S's, and I have to admit, I am kind of trying to speed through it.
Of course you are, because you've done most of it before.
Yeah, it's a real shame, because again, the writing that's there, the new writing that's in 9S's thing, some of the side missions are excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Because the writing universally in that thing is excellent. It's just so much of the writing is repeated from stuff you already know.
That's the issue with it, totally.
And I completely get why, but I really wish there was a bit more content to it.
It's definitely a Yoko Taro moment.
It's one of those moments where it's like, oh, okay, you meant well here, but
yeah,
this
is a detriment more than it is a positive.
Yeah, and it's I see what you were going for. It's just so in the middle of that, and I'm just doing some side missions now at the moment. I'm doing the Colosseum. I've been playing on hard through the whole playthrough because I did normal last time. And wow, if you do not have a good defensive plug-in set in that game on hard, 2 hits from anything. Seriously. Like, the weakest enemy, if it hits you twice, will kill you.
To be fair, though, you can break that game with your chips.
But that's hard, not so broken.
Ah, okay.
It's easier, it's not easy. Which is, I think, is a really good thing. I think it's kind of like the intended play. You know, one of those ones where, like, this is what we kind of thought you should be playing on.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been playing that. Made a start on the ReZero game. Haven't made it very far into it. Just an introduction, really, so far, and it's just
have you got the gameplay for it yet?
No, it's just recapping the original story, because it is kind of like saying, like, listen, this is not going to be friendly to you if you're new, but if you are new, you need to know some basics.
Right. Okay. I was hoping you'd have got to the gameplay so you could have at least talked to us about how the actual game is, because I still wasn't entirely sure how that was going to be.
I'm curious. Like, I'm happy with the visual novel thing myself, but I am definitely curious about, like, because when I heard about it originally, I was just thinking, like, okay, visual novel, probably mystery kind of thing, and it's like, hang on, there's gameplay?
My God, your hair is short, Mikey.
Shut up.
Oh my God.
Kill him, the devil.
Oh, so I like how a person called Liz said, "I can see your head." Because before, your hair, there was no head, there was only hair. Sorry, I just saw that picture and went, wow, that's a bald Mikey.
Listen, why not have a change every now and then?
He's a smooth criminal.
I noticed the kind of commonality is I look like I'm going to rob someone. I will not commit crimes. I will observe others committing crimes.
Yes, you're a mastermind. You're not the thug.
But apart from that, no Ruby this week. They took a week off.
Lazy.
But I ended up on a complete whim, and this took up a lot of my week. I rewatched the entirety of Shield Hero.
Hey, what made you want to do that? Were you just feeling the urge?
No, I think I was just scrolling through Crunchyroll and it popped up.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh, cool. I remember that. I should rewatch that.
I remember that show
from the many moons ago. But yeah, that is an unreasonably good show.
Yeah.
Unreasonably good. That show is heartfelt, sincere, emotional, dark, funny. Very good animation.
Where's season 2?
On the way, apparently.
Yeah.
Feck you, COVID. You nearly
I was
killed
talked about a while ago, right?
Yeah, but it was supposed to come out last year.
Was it? Oh, okay.
As
heavy
was
delay
everything
then.
else.
Yeah.
As with everything else. It's just really, really good. It's a really good show.
Okay. Yeah.
Some of the hot takes that are now popping into my YouTube, because I was watching the intro a few times, are bizarre. Bizarre. As I said on Twitter, just like, listen, there are shows out at the moment that have really relevant hot takes of why is this not just being made as a mildly disturbing porn?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Or a very disturbing porn. I don't know why this is being released as a mainline show, and I don't know why I clicked that link without realizing what I was clicking, and then it was too late.
Yeah, redo it for Heel. I don't get it personally, but whatever.
From what I can tell, it's torture porn. Literally.
It seems to be. It's full on revenge porn story. It's like
and that there's a genre for that. It's called porn.
Yeah.
Why are you releasing this on TV where half the people are going to be like freaked out and half the people are going to be like, I can't see the bits I want to see?
I think the reason is because interspecies reviewer was the thing, so this is the next step up. So the controversy theoretically will get more attention. I think that's maybe the idea behind it.
I mean, call me crazy, but I think the oddly well-meaning prostitute comedy was a bit more palatable.
You would have thought so, but, someone's got to push the bucket.
But yeah, like, there's some really, like, I have said before, and I'll say it again, I actually think, like, the whole thing at the start with, like, the Maltese faking being assaulted by, now for me, it's something actually worth discussing civilly with people, because I think, like, it is an issue to have that in a show, and it's also really, it says something about how culture is different in different parts of the world, and how we need to interact with people from everywhere else. Do we educate them? Did they educate us? Blah, blah, blah. However, that is 4 minutes out of an entire 40-minute episode.
Yeah, but for a fact that most people who were complaining that hard about it only watched those 4 minutes.
Yeah. Also, the whole thing that I've seen now in multiple videos of ReZero, Rising of the Shield Hero is pushing the idea that slavery is a good thing. Which makes me feel they didn't watch the show.
Yeah, they didn't watch the show, because that's not what the show's about. Again.
The context of slavery in the show is like, someone doesn't trust anyone, and hears this person literally can't lie to you if I give you them. And they're just like, okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'll take that. And then basically kind of has to learn to get the fuck past it.
Yeah.
Like, in fact, the only time slavery is really brought up afterwards is by people who treat them like objects.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, no, they're there because they want to be. And everyone who's saying the word slave is being real dicks about it.
Yeah.
And then I've seen some stuff about, like, now for me is, like, this self-insert, like, oh my god, you pathetic nerds, you want to be this guy?
No.
I'm just like, the entire point of the thing is to almost undermine all the stereotypes of the self-aggrandizing anime hero that's supposed to be you, but not. Like, the other three heroes are like every stereotype combined into one. And also, I forgot how much the spear hero was a complete jack-off.
He's not a nice guy.
He's a fucking creep is what he is.
And dumb.
Philo is 2 months old. And he basically tries to kidnap her while saying he's in love with little angels.
Yes.
And I don't think he'd have stopped at hugging. Like, when Melty, there's a bit where Melty tries to shoot him, and I'm just like, yeah, no, do it again. Do it again. Don't give him a warning, hit him. I also saw something where I saw a lot of people say they hated Melty, and I'm just like, why? Melty's great.
Which one's Melty? The little, the princess, right?
Yeah, she's great. I like Melty.
She's fun.
She has a really good dynamic to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's a great show. Great show. I really do recommend it to anyone. I watched Back Arrow, latest episode of Back Arrow, which was episode 7.
Hey, pushing on well then.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying the show, and I really like that they're bringing in this idea of Arrow having a really different set of priorities to everyone else, and being ultimately quite a selfish person.
Okay.
Like, he's not a bad person, and he'll do right by people if he can, but if his goals contradict your goals, even if your goals are really, really reasonable, he wants to get over that wall, he's going up to the wall, and off you go, you do your own thing. And he doesn't really get why people are taking that personally. So yeah, no, another good one, like character development there as well, like the village that he helped destroy by accident. We're getting we've seen the reaction from kind of the people involved at Arrow, and they're ultimately on his side, and now we're seeing like a lot of the other villagers are just like, basically he's asking us to go up to God and kick him in the shins.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
We don't want to do that. Also, he ruined our lives.
Oh.
And like, you've got the main characters kind of trying to justify it, but their justifications are really weak, because ultimately they're going along kind of for the ride because they don't see anything else for them to do.
So they're just doing it because.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. Also, I do not trust a princess that is like, I don't like pain. No one should be sad.
Hang on, is this redo of a healer? Does she actually really like pain?
I don't know, but I'm just looking at her going like, oh no, you're so sweet and innocent. You're gonna be a monster.
Do you think she is the villain?
I think she's one of them. I think the show's gonna have a few.
All right.
Yeah, but no, like, really enjoying that still. Watched the guy from the Boonies who turns out to be super powerful anime again. Started a 2-parter, fun one there. And yeah, big thing this week was that I am now all caught up again on ReZero. So that was 4 episodes I had to watch.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Also, I decided I'm going to try and pick up some new anime in the week as well, so we're going to try them out and see how they go.
Do you have a list of the new anime you want to try out, or is this just like you want to just kind of see what's out there and then try it?
I have a few, but I'm not spoiling.
Oh, wow. You'll be like that.
Nerds.
Fine.
So, yeah, ReZero. It is basically the backstory arc.
Oh, that's not bad.
Which is Amelia, Rosewall, Echidna, Betty, the little elf girl, half elf girl, and I did Betelgeuse.
Were you going to say Petaljuice?
I was. I can never, because like some translations call him Betelgeuse.
Do they? No. Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Bite Your Fingers, Rosani Conti. Who I did not know was not human.
Is he not?
He's a spirit.
Is he? Is he?
Yeah, he's a natural spirit. He's not an artificial one. He's like he was born one.
Kind of like Puck then.
No, Puck's artificial.
Oh,
Echidna,
okay.
Echidna made Puck. So he's more like kind of like the little spirits that follow Amelia around, but like a higher grade.
Yeah, with the whole finger bitey woo woo.
Yeah, which also is apparently explains why he lasted as long as he did with the whole body jumping thing, because he wasn't human in the first place.
Hey.
But yeah, I cried more than once.
Good.
If I'm honest. Amelia did not have an easy childhood.
No, I mean that was kind of clear from like the entire show, but okay.
Yeah. But like, there's a lot of stuff with her and Echidna's very prominent in this.
That's good.
Like,
that's good. I think that's really good because like season 2 seems to be the witch arc for the most part, which is good because it needed to be the case. There's
further hints of a connection between Satella and Amelia, but
I'm shocked.
This one is one that I had considered once, and I kind of, because I liked my fan theory, kind of pushed aside. And like now, actually, this one makes a lot of sense. This would explain at least some of what's going on.
Do they fusion like in Dragon Ball Z?
Well, I think the reason it never really stuck with me, because I never really thought, like, would Satella have sex? I think Satella had sex at one point.
Why wouldn't she?
Well, because she's a incredibly powerful thing absorbed by the needing to be loved and like destroys the world around her by existing.
Doesn't mean she didn't want some.
I'm not saying she didn't want some.
Meat, you know?
I'm just saying, like, I never really thought the logistics would work in her favor, but
she's a powerful witch. She can do what she likes.
I think Satella had sex and produced a little Amelia. That's my theory at the moment.
Right.
At least in some way, I think that's a connection. But we get a really good scene between Subaru and Rosewall, which basically lays out some very interesting ideas, like the fact that apart from his connection to Amelia, Rosewall literally sees Subaru as less than a normal person and therefore not a threat. I'm just like, you, sir, are in for a surprise. Yeah, we get the backstory of the Sanctuary, Beatrice's backstory. We get a really interesting thing where if Echidna shows up in the past, we never see her eyes.
Interesting.
And it also plays out like it's hinting that, she really does care about things more than she thinks she does. But she's also, someone who is biologically incapable of seeing morals the way you see them.
Right.
Which I've said it before, I really love that the witches are not good or evil. They are.
Yes.
Like, they're what drives them, instincts, beliefs, everything else, are just at such a right angle to everyone else. Also, 2 new witches introduced.
Okay.
One of which I was very surprised at.
One of which.
What with the fact they have a penis.
Oh, wow.
And the other one is probably very, very, very important to the story.
Okay.
Also, it turns out Amelia is fucking terrifying. If you piss her off. Like, one of the most violent scenes in the show is because of Amelia. Very angry Amelia. But yeah, no, like, yeah. Amelia's come leaps and bounds as a character, I will say. I really like what they're doing with her. It's just, she's not Rem. She'll never be Rem. But
Rem's still on the bench, isn't she?
Well, literally. They've just left her outside in like a porch. But yeah, Ram's getting a bit extra to do as well. And Garfield got some good character development. Yeah, no, it turns out that what the show I would argue is one of the best animes in 10 years is still one of the best animes in 10 years.
Wow.
Have
you not watched the Spider anime yet?
No, God. Like I said, it's been... if I hadn't been watching Shield Hero...
Did you watch Jobless?
Again, Shield Hero. But I have Jobless.
Mikey.
I was going to watch it after this.
Mikey. So that's episode 6 that you need to be watching.
Yeah, 5 and 6, I think.
Oh, wow.
You're kidding. Wow. So, yeah.
Didn't you do a podcast this week?
Yes, I was going to say. I did a podcast, complete, came out of nowhere. I sort of guest starred on the Geekcast.
Oh.
And did a review of an original comic from Comixology, which wasn't too bad, I'll be honest.
That's good. Was it a Transformers one?
No, it was just a random superhero thing. Not like in the Comixology original.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they were making their own comics.
Well, they basically creators who are doing their own independent work license them through Comixology.
That's not a bad idea. That's nice.
Yeah. Going on for a few years. I don't know how much attention it gets people, but kind
Better
of
than nothing, I suppose, right?
Yeah, it was called Immortal Orphans, kind of a spoof comic in some ways, but kind of quite sincere in others. It wasn't amazing, but it was decent. Which considering how some comics are these days, I think that's enough. But especially for someone's very first comic book that they are writing and drawing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's over on the Geekcast, episode 399, I believe, of the Pull Bag. Yeah, that was it really for me.
You did nothing else?
I don't remember doing anything else of note.
That sounds concerning.
Well, I'll probably come back in 2 weeks' time and say, oh god, there was this thing as well.
I like the idea that the camera pans around, looks out your window, and what the closest place next to you is just on fire. I don't think I did anything else. People screaming.
Did anything important happen?
He'll kill again. Help us.
That's fine. Nothing significant. Nothing I want to really talk about.
Fair enough.
What about you, Andy?
Well, I've been watching some woo-woo this week. I watched and finished off. Do you remember the terrible yet amazingly stupid fun movie 2012, Mikey?
And the weather is literally out to kill you.
Yeah, it is. 2012, where John Cusack is able to run from an entire continent shifting from under his feet. It's an amazingly bad film. They do. I forgot how they just kind of quite brutally kill off 2 supporting characters for no particular reason. One gets eaten in the gears of a giant machine. He gets pulled in and num num num, which is very convenient because it means John Cusack can get back with his wife who he was divorced from. So it's like the movie wanted John Cusack to have sex with his wife again, and they had to get rid of the obstacle being the new boyfriend, who was a good person.
An honorable goal.
Yeah. John Cusack did not kill him. It was fate that killed him. So John Cusack could get some later on.
John Cusack's honor is free.
It is. I still like that movie. If someone said, but it's a really bad movie, I'd go, yeah, that's kind of why I like it, because it's terrible. It's El Terrible, and it makes me do the laughs. What else did I do? I'm up to date on the Spider anime. So What If I'm a Spider? That's still entertaining. It's still fun. Still progressing at a nice little pace. I won't say it's like, oh shit, this is crazy at the moment, but it is still enjoyable. I'm up to date on Jobless Hero. The plot for that seems to be in the main plot hasn't got going for Jobless Hero at the moment. We're still in the. I think at the moment we're in the introduction to the world part of the story.
Yeah, definitely there in the last episode I saw.
Was the red-headed tsundere character added to the story yet for you, Mikey?
No, he was just being dragged off by the large-breasted cat lady.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So there's you'll see a red-headed child soon who's the tsundere. Spoiler. I believe that she is there to be added to the harem for later, but much later. It's not like instant harem material.
Well, he's still a child, so...
Yes, but he already has a girlfriend, so... The elf girl who he didn't know was a girl
friend.
and pulled the pants down off and went,
yeah.
"Oh no, you're a girl!" Oh,
and then
no.
you remember he's 30-something.
Well, he didn't know she was a girl. To be fair,
I wouldn't do that to a boy child now.
No, I wouldn't do that either. But that's, you know, I think that's more the kind of Japanese culture of open baths kind of thing.
Yes.
So it's not that big of a deal in a lot of ways.
Just get in the fucking bath.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've seen enough bathhouse episodes, so...
Yes, it has basically formed the basis of my experiences of bathing.
I don't know what that means. Did you not bathe before? It's like, did you watch a Japanese show and went,
did anyone
"What
bathe
this?"
before anime, Andy?
God. I don't know. I admit, is this an Irish thing, Mikey? I don't know. But no, Jobless Hero, still good. It's a disgustingly pretty show. The animation in it is very, very nice.
That's
very
unreasonable.
nice.
It's unreasonably good.
It is, especially for, like, oh, we're doing an isekai story again. It's just, maybe all these isekai stories should have had, I don't know, money put behind them and made to look this fucking pretty. No intro sequence either. There's no, like, opening sequence for the show, which is kind of weird. It's not bad, but it is strange. I actually went back and started watching an old anime as well this week, but it's much older than yours. Oh, yes. It's unfortunately 10 years old, Mikey. A 10-year-old anime. Tiger and Bunny.
Oh, God. I thought that was older than that, actually.
No, it's apparently it came out around the same time as Double, so that was 10 years ago. Man, that is a much better show than My Hero Academia. It gets to the fucking point. I'm throwing that out there now. It's a much more interesting show than My Hero Aka.
But Andy, I saw someone who said if you criticize My Hero Academia, you like it, but you're too stubborn to admit it.
I think My Hero Aka has some really good hype moments, but they are very few and far between. It's very much a stereotypical shonen anime.
It does not pay off on those hype moments, shall we
say. I think when it does its hype moments, they are very well done. They are very well executed. They have great cinematography and they have really good music behind them. And I think you get that feeling that, ooh, shit, when things are kicking off. But then straight after that, you're back to nothing really happening for like nearly 19 to 20 episodes of a season. Or we go back to a training arc again. So for me, this is better because it's already set up the story, and it is progressing with character development. The episode I watched last night was Origami's episode of his backstory and him learning to use his power because he didn't think the ability to instantly transform into anybody he sees was a desperately good power, and it's like, well, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'd recommend going back and watching it. It's still a good movie. A good show. Even if still at this point the CG animation for them in hero costumes is really chunky and out of place.
Oh, it was the same then, and it's the same now, I suspect.
Yeah. Do you remember how they didn't do that with Blue Rose or Kid Lightning, the two female characters?
Oh yeah.
The obvious reason is because they wanted those two characters to look good and cute still. And they know they couldn't do that if they made them CGI. But Fire Emblem, he had to be CGI, even though he was, you could see the bottom half of his mouth. But Tiger and Bunny. That's a good little show. It's fun, baby. Woo woo. Go give it a watch if you haven't. What else have I been up to? Oh, I got Megatron. Kingdom Megatron. He's good. Yeah, I like him. I am concerned about the rubbery plastic over most of his dinosaur body. But it does smell good. It smells real good, Mikey. I love the smell of chemicals that are probably killing my brain cells.
It's the day you revealed this, I think you had everyone has that uncomfortable perversion they should keep to themselves. And you should have kept that to yourself.
I'm not uncomfortable with it, though.
But the rest of us are.
Oh, that's your problem to deal with. No, he's good. He's obvious. I mean, you can tell from the images, he is very gappy in T-Rex mode. So you can actually pose him and stuff. And the posability for the dinosaur mode's really good. This is what I really would have wanted as a kid for a Beast Wars Megatron. He's maybe a little bit complex for a kid to enjoy. for a young kid to enjoy, but for an adult collector, yeah, very solid. There are still parts on him that I think should be cause for concern, which is, again, the rubbery plastic, and how it's going to fare over time. But at this point in time, yeah, he is good. He's a good little fun boy. Little T-Rex boy. Mine did have some weird paint mishaps around his robot face. Like, there was a big old paint splot on his nose and on the inside of his cheek, which I had to kind of scrape away with a knife. But apart from that, yeah, I'd recommend grabbing him if you can. He's a good boy.
He looks good.
Yeah, are you tempted to get him? Will he be a definite Mikey buy?
The usual thing of monies.
That makes sense. Yeah, and we've been seeing Dinobot, I think, is either out or has been. I think he has been released in where is it called? What's the place called? Canada. Canagia has Dinobots. So Dinobot is out in Canagia land if you want to get him. And I think he's theoretically meant to be out here on March the 1st. Whether he gets delayed or not, I don't know. But I'll need to be picking him up as well.
It's nice to want to, even if I can't afford them at the moment, it's nice to want to buy the main line again.
Well, some of them, but yeah, definitely. It would be nice if we could see some future figures to the rumored ones that we've talked about before on the show. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be fun. Hopefully soon. I was surprised because I actually talked to. I actually talked to Gruff about this, and do you remember last year at some point there was the Hasbro video thing where they actually showed a load of their product for a lot of things? We haven't had another one of those. It feels like we should have, or they could do one.
They've been I know they've been experimenting on we'll do those weekly videos or we'll do this, and I don't think they've ever been happy with any of what they've been using. Really?
That's a shame. I definitely think having maybe not weekly. I think weekly is a bit silly. I think if you do one every 2 months or 3 months or something like that, it would be something, because it could go here's what's happening, here's the new figures that are coming up, just to keep people hyped and excited, because that's what you do in this day and age. You keep the hype rolling, and it's a good way to keep interacting with your fans and show that you kind of care. Which sometimes when you talk to big companies, you'd feel like they're not. If you want a really good example of a company who is doing it right, Games Workshop, they do preview streams pretty regularly on the weekends, and they have a really good community on Twitch, and it's a great way to show the new product stuff and get all the info on it. So it's pretty good. My Nintendo Switch came in, Mikey. Oh. Finally, out of nowhere. It was a surprise. I was like, oh shit, here it is. It didn't even tell me it was coming. It just arrived on my door one day. So I've got to ring fit. I got it on Thursday, so I only got to use it on Thursday and Friday, as Saturday and Sunday are, Sunday is obviously that's today, so I couldn't really do anything today, but Saturday is my my takeaway day. It's fun. The ring fit thing is pretty fun. I was surprised about how good the quality is on the actual ring itself.
It's surprisingly sturdy.
Yeah, it's got a good squeeze to it. It's like, oh wow, okay. I don't know about you. Did you have any trouble when it says, "Hey, put your thumb over the sensor, we can see if you're alive or not"? That seems to not always work super well.
Yeah, it seems to be dependent on pressure and if what's on the tip of your finger or something like that.
It seems to be hard to get it quite right, because the first time I did it, it was I had to do it 5 times before. I was like, I don't know if you're alive or not.
I basically started. It'll read my heartbeat, but it won't give me a pulse. It might not give me the actual count, but I can look at the graph at least and go okay, that looks like I'm dead.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
So at least there's that.
I always like to have it recorded, because I don't know what it means to have it recorded, but I'm sure it's a good idea for the Nintendo Switch to be aha, this is good, or this is bad. This is bad. I don't.
The setting that no one realizes, it just screams, "You die now."
I still need to do the. You remember where it's you got to put in your preferences and your weight and stuff. I was like, I don't know what my weight is. Then I checked on my scale. I put in stones, and then it's we need it in LB as well. And I was like, I don't know what it is in LB. I have no idea.
I weigh exactly 1.1 Andes.
I weigh 3 chickens. Large chickens.
3 large chickens of equal dimension.
Exactly. There can be no variation in said chickens. They must all be the same. I think that's everything I've been up to, Mikey. No. I got Gundam. Did I talk about it last week? SD Gundam G Generation Cross Rays.
You said you got it, but I didn't. I don't think you'd started playing it.
I've played it now.
You have played it.
I have. I will say it seems like there's no unique crossover story so far. Which I think is a bit of a shame because the benefit of the Super Robot Wars games and stuff like that is the crazy, weird-ass story that they kind of interweave, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they don't have that. It's just, the good thing is, it has the TV shows, so it's got Wing and Seed and Destiny and all that, but it's also got the mangas as well that take place afterwards or during. Like, it's got Gundam Seed Astray and an X-Astray as well.
The X-Stray?
Yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what the stories were for those, because I know about Astray, but I've obviously no idea about what happens in them.
Yeah, Astray's one of those things where a lot of people know it, and very few people actually know what's in it.
Yeah, all they know is the red Astray, which is the famous one, and there's the blue Astray as well, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I've never met anyone who really talks about the blue.
No, I think the red one's the famous one because red's a better color generally, and it's got the sword. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. It's a fun enough game. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it is entertaining me, and it's got some really good bits of animation in there for when they're doing the attacks. But you might have a better game if you go for a Super Robot Wars, I think.
Is it the same? Is it an RTS as well, or is it an RPG? Or
it's an RTS. It's exactly like Super Robot Wars, where you take turns, but it doesn't feel like it's a super It doesn't feel super strategic at this point. It's got RPG elements as well, so the pilots will level up, and then you can level up the suit that you're in, and then from there you can develop into 4 different suits, to a lower level or lower class, and then to a higher class. So you can get a grunt suit, and eventually develop into a Gundam, and then develop that Gundam into something fancy. So you can get a Leo, and you can upgrade it to a Taurus, and then you can upgrade it to the Virgo. Kind of like that, if you remember what those looked like back in the day.
Yeah.
Some of the options allow you to even go from a Leo eventually getting into one of the 5 main Gundams, and then obviously from there going through Endless Waltz versions, the manga versions, or you can go to the Endless Waltz movie versions, and then there's an Endless Waltz movie version of those as well. So yeah, it's fun. It's a big old time sink, but I'm enjoying it so far. And because I got all the DLC, I have the G Gundam fighters unlocked. So I have Schwarzbruder, of course, Master Asia, Domon Kashu, and Allenby. I don't think there's anybody else in there, which is kind of a shame, but it's enough. It's enough to keep me happy.
And like you said before, there's no Universal Century?
No Universal Century at all. It's all the other stuff. So no Crossbones, because that's Universal Century.
I listen, it doesn't have to be in everything.
No, it's just annoying because it's this is the game where I would have been oh, it would be nice to learn about, that. Since it's the fun one. It's the weird, it's the one that feels like it's more like Wing and G Gundam and the weird ones rather than being part of the Universal Century, even though it is. So yeah, I'd give it a crack if you can. Also, it's good to buy it on Steam, just because hopefully it means that in the future they'll start pushing more games towards Steam, at least more Gundam games towards Steam, because there's only the 2. There's this and the Gundam the new Gundam Breaker, the bad one, that that everybody says don't buy it. It's that one.
I watched a review of that in the last few weeks, and we're just we have all these aesthetic parks, okay? They don't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, do you remember how they did something in the last game? Yeah, they don't do anything
everything
now.
If you don't use those aesthetic parts, you're fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. They're so useful. They're super useful. It's weird. Oh, did you? I also watched the Nintendo Direct event, Mikey. Now being a Nintendo Switch owner.
No, I missed that.
Oh man, Mikey, they're doing more remakes.
What did they announce? Because I didn't pay attention to it.
Ghosts and Goblins, which I hadn't heard of, but I think was probably announced beforehand.
Yeah.
What else was announced? I think there was more updates for Animal Crossing.
Smash 52. The Smash
Trial of Mana.
Smashing?
Trial of Mana was a thing.
That name's familiar, but I don't know much about it.
PS2 RPG, if you remember that. I can't remember if there was anything else, but a lot of the stuff I was like, Everyone was like, this is the time when we're going to get Bayonetta 3. And I was like, no, you're not. And by the end of it, I was like, I told you.
Never.
I told you, no, Bayonetta 3 is never going to happen. I mean, it will happen, but it just feels like it's never going to happen.
Let's see. I'm curious now. Splatoon 3 in 2022.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
Legend
I don't
of
really
Zelda
care about Splatoon, but...
Skyward Sword HD.
Yeah, so that's a remake.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate adds Pyrrha and Mithra from Xenoblade.
Yeah, so it's just additional content.
There's a game I've been meaning to play but haven't yet. Animal Crossing with Mario. Oh my god, Mario Golf!
I know, yeah.
Oh my god, those are the top stories.
That was the big reveal, Mario Golf, and I was like, I don't like golf.
Best of the rest. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity.
Hyrule.
I heard that's okay. That's the Zelda thing, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's a Dynasty Warriors one, so I'm kind of interested in that.
Fall Guys.
Oh, that's right, yeah, Fall Guys is going to be on the Switch, which I was like, I thought it already was.
It's kind of a perfect Switch game.
Yeah, kind of. It is kind of weird that it wasn't on there already, but I guess it's, difficult to get games onto Nintendo that aren't Nintendo.
What on
or
earth?
Big ones.
What on earth is Project Triangle?
I don't know.
Anime strategy game, okay. Apex Legends, Plants vs. Zombies. That's it?
Yeah, there wasn't much.
I didn't miss much.
No, not really. It's like, it's exactly what you said the last time. It's like, it would be nice if the Switch actually had, like, games on it. That weren't just games from older consoles.
Yeah, what they seem to do is basically release like 5 games and try to keep them as alive for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah. Seems like
Mario Kart has not had a sequel, but it will be ongoing for life because they'll just keep on adding to it. Which
isn't a bad idea if you're interested in Mario Kart, but it would be nice to have like other games as well.
Well, look at it this way now, Andy. You can go through the illicit Nintendo Switch, all the games that were censored on other formats.
I don't think there were any games that were censored on formats that I wanted to play, though, because they're all mostly visual novel-y kind of games.
I know there's an RPG in there somewhere that got heavily censored on Sony, and then it comes out uncensored on Nintendo Switch. Don't ask me which one.
No, I'm not sure. I did hear stuff like that, which I was like, that's weird since Nintendo's the family console, but it's good for Nintendo. Good for Nintendo doing that.
As I learned as I was going through the catalog, the shop ones, it's just like, there's a lot of really dodgy games on here.
Yeah. But like I say, hey, good for Nintendo being open to like not censoring everything just because it's the West. Unlike Sony, which tells you what you are and aren't allowed to see. It's a bit silly.
Here's the thing, if you're offended by these things, I fully support your right to be offended, but I do not like any kind of censorship. If someone makes a product, I want to see that product and judge it for myself, and if I think it's too much or too whatever, that's fine, but like, I hate it with anime, I hate it with TV, I hate it with books. Like, throw it at me, let me judge for myself. Like, the redo of Healer thing, censoring that would not make me feel any warmer to it.
No, you wouldn't like it anymore.
Yeah, I would just be like, wow, this is really short anime. These episodes are 1.5 minutes long.
The episode ends with, and they were happily ever after.
Or just a guy wandering into screen. Nothing happened! But like, I've never liked any kind of censorship.
No, same.
Like, it's just the way I am. I've been like that since I was very young. Yeah.
Now, when Mikey went into a strip club and his dad said, "No, you're not allowed in there. I'm censoring this from you," and Mikey was like, "No, I want it uncensored, father."
Standing in front of strippers with a big black piece of tape.
Is this why you like Miko? Because it reminds you of your dad.
Listen, no, Miko censors things but doesn't want to. That's the difference. Miko censors it for you, but not for her.
Wow.
Miko has double standards.
Wow.
Nice heap beach.
Power of Miko, baby.
Yep.
All right.
Oh man, I was watching her Kiwami 2 playthrough, where she discovered that, like, in one game where you could previously watch the sex videos, you can't do it in that game, and she got so pissed. And then she found, like, you could do the sexy photo shoot, which was the exact same fucking thing, and she literally says, "I'm never going back there. I live here now."
Oh no. She enjoyed it too much.
Yep.
Too much. Mikey, do we have any questions for this week? Because I can take us on and we can talk about some of the messages we got on Facebook.
I got a message from Andreas Zindel once again. So Andy, this is another long one. So Andy, if you don't, not you, Andy, that Andy with an I. I will sort of provide an overview. So this is following on from my comment a week or two ago about wanting to give Macross 7 a go, which is the one where it's piloted by a guitar. So they are a big Macross fan, and they said advice and a word of warning. Every show or movie is a fictional retelling of an event that happened in that universe. So basically, you are watching the transmission of a TV show broadcasted in the Macross universe. So every Macross series is the same event done, redone. So Macross is Transformers.
Or Gundam, in a way, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Does everyone colony drop? For no reason.
I guess you point across quickly, to be fair.
Apparently there's also magical elements in the setting. Okay. Secondly, every Macross show has 3 pillars as described by Kawamori Shoji, the show's creator. The power of pop music, transforming mecha, and a love triangle. I knew about 2 of those.
Yes, same.
Depending on the prevailing pop culture trend at the time, the show can put more emphasis on any one of these pillars, which would explain why 7 has a guitar. Macross Delta is mostly about an idol group. Huh.
Okay.
An almost non-existent love triangle, but some mecha. Macross 7 has most episodes of any Macross show at 49. As such, it should be it would take a while to consume once a week. Says should not binge watch it because it gets repetitive quickly. You don't. Oh, innocent child. My binge watching powers should not be underestimated. Pacing picks up in the after the first half, so it's kind of got a go thing going on. 7 has zany action, weird ideas, and J-Rock. Should not watch it if you think 8 Mobile Suit Team is the best Gundam show because you hate fun.
Just because I like Keith Mobile Suit doesn't mean I can't enjoy other things.
No, you hate fun. It says so here.
I do hate fun. This is true, but it's not connected. They're 2 separate things.
You should also not expect a lot of character development. It's mostly archetypes.
I think that would be a bit of a shame then, if that's the case.
Give it a watch. Not for everyone. It's a divisive show in the fandom. If you want to watch, the Macross Frontier is considered the best. Launched a pop star apparently. Warning.
Which is the one that has the guy who makes out with a giant alien lady? Because that seems pretty good. That seems like a Miko wow moment.
Wow. Big hip.
Wow.
I can't tell you. I can look it up for you if you'd like me to find out for you, Andy.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I can. Maybe it's Frontier, since that seems to be the big one.
Right.
Yeah. Wanted a warning. You're also assuming that only happens in the one of them.
That's true. That is my fault. Yeah.
All transforming mecha related merch is very expensive, so don't get into collecting on this because you will die. After watching the show, you might find yourself lusting for some Valkyries. I don't know, just buy Jetfire and repaint it.
Oh, boom! Goddamn.
If you want to know more about Macross, let me know. Gamblin' Kick. I'm assuming that's a reference. But yeah, I do want to try Macross. I really do. I really do want to sit down and give it a go at some point. Yeah, that's it for the emails, Andy. Thank you, other Andy, for your comments and advice there. That was very useful.
Yeah, cheers. We have a message from Christoph on the Facebook who goes, "Okay, I'll stop spoiling IDW TMNT for Mikey's sake.
I'm up to date.
And talk DC movies instead." Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Can we go back to Turtles?
What's that?
Turtles is good. Can we go back to the IDW Turtles?
No, we're on this path, Mikey.
I don't want this path. This path leads to horror and darkness.
I'd say feels more like they have listened to, in quotations, fans too much from the start. I assume this is talking about DC movies. That and chasing trends. Oh, yeah. I would agree with that. Well, I don't think they're chasing trends. They are chasing trends, but they're chasing trends for money more so than anything else. Anyway, Kumo is getting a Nendroid. Have you seen the Nendroid of the spider, Mikey?
Yes, I have, actually. That looked really good.
It does look really good. Also, would it count as a spoiler talking about... okay, yeah, he mentions that there are bits in the anime that are skipped over in the manga. I would say probably don't do it just in case they kind of pay them off in the anime later, because we don't know how it's going to work. By the end of season 1, then yeah, totally. Because there are 2 important steps for her character development there. Yeah, I would say maybe they'll have it in, because we're still early on in the manga. Like, sorry, in the anime, we're only episode 6, so they might just kind of edit around and find a better place for it to happen. I don't know. I just know it's fun. But yeah, the Nendroid. Christoph puts a picture of the Nendroid in. It looks good. It's very cute. It works perfectly for a Nendroid as well. Problem is, it's an expensive Nendroid.
Yeah, but I think the Nendroids might actually be the best line for it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I don't know what else you do for it, to be honest, because you can't really do a Figma for it. Well, not at the moment, unless something dramatically changes to a look, which it could do. I think that's it, Mikey. I don't think there's anything else. I did a podcast with Gruff and George today on Warhammer stuff, so you can find that on the Fluff and Hammer, if thou willst. Can do. Mikey, where could people find you on the internet if you want them to? You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, and you can send us an email on moonbase2@gmail.com, and you can contact us on Patreon and Facebook and Libsyn and Twitter and everyone else. You all know this game by now. Yes. What about you, Andy? You can find me on Twitter, CCTFW, YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, so on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2, and if you do $2 each month, you get the extended version from the Files of Teletron 2, and you get the Moonbase Woo Woo as well, which is us talking about non-transformery things in greater detail and depth. As is one to happen. Detail indeed. You can also head over to I need to record that this week, by the way, that reminds me. And we need to do a comic show as well. Yes. Oh, God. It's been a busy week for me, so I'm going to have to get back to you in the next couple of days about times. That's fair. That's fine, sir. No worries. And you can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com as well if you want to get us that way on top of everything else. So, Mr. Mikey, I think there was another message that I had been sent to at some point, but I have no idea where it is, though it might have been an old one. I just have a small recollection of seeing something about painting, and when a good time to paint is. But I can't find what that question is. So if that sounds like you sent us a question and it was about painting, resend us it again, please, because I don't know where it went. No idea. So, Mikey, that's us done for this week. We've done pooping. I can let you go now, and you can be free and do Mikey things with your boldness. You can whistle through the waters like a little fish. Yes, I'm hydrodynamic now. Exactly. Hydrodynamic. Exactly. Perfectly hydrodynamic. So, until next week, everybody, thank you for coming on. No floaties. Coming on down to the Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast. And we will see you next week with more Transformers news, if there is any. And if not that, probably talking about anime. And at the very least, they'll get a mention from HoloLive. Yay! Because we are repetitive. That's true. Hell yeah. What a selling point.
You are now leaving